Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to try to show you guys how I do my twist out, which I haven't really done in a while, at least not with Eco Styler Gel. I actually like to do my twist out on kind of like an older blew out hairstyle, so like my hair was just kind of like style in the curl from the steam iron, and which is just, it had coconut oil and shea butter in there, so I'm just spritzing it with a little bit of water from this water bottle, and then just adding the Eco Styler Gel with argan oil. So I like to do this with hair that's already kind of dry and just like a little bit damp, because my hair takes so long to dry that doing this straight out the shower would never work for me. But by doing this, I can have a little control over how much product I put in there and how long it'll take to dry. So like I said, if my hair, you'll see with the next section how it is just kind of like more frizzy than anything, whereas when you're putting the gel in it, it's slowly taking form with my actual curl pattern. As you can see, like a little bit, it's like slowly starting to like clump at the edges. And then I'll just take those sections and just do like a light twist. And hopefully it'll dry tomorrow morning and I can put a photo of the end product as the thumbnail for you guys. And yeah, I like the Eco Styler argan oil. And yeah, once my hair starts curling, it starts getting very knotty, which is why I prefer to do the stretch out style, just because I get less split ends that way. But it's been a while since I've had just like a short curl. So once it's your desired, like, it's not super defined because it's still like a little frizzy here, but I don't like a lot of gel in my hair because then it makes it kind of hard. So I'm just gonna go ahead and twist this section. And I think Natural 85 had this method where she would wrap the twist around her head and kind of pin it to help it keep it stretched, and it'll stay straight longer, or it'll look its actual length faster. Sometimes I do that, sometimes the pins like hurt me when I sleep, so I don't bother doing it. Trying to get this in the frame. I'm literally on my tippy toes. So funny. Let's see. Yeah, so this is section. I usually just do mine in like the same breakdown from when I wash my hair. So this is what my hair looked. Okay, yeah, I got a little wet from when I showered, but it's usually more frizzy, so it started kind of curling, which is why I was like, well, I might as well just put gel in it and call it a day. So with the sprayer bottle, you can kind of control how wet your hair gets. Like I said, I just want it wet enough that the gel actually has an effect, but not so wet that it takes a while to dry. And the thing with doing this on an older twist or blowout, at least my method, is that the hair's already fresh and clean, and you only had coconut oil and shea moisture in it, so it already has like the essentials. You could add a little bit more oil on there. Sometimes I do that if I feel like it looks a little dull, but it hasn't that long since I did the blowout. And usually with the steam iron, it gives this shine to your hair, like it's super healthy. Yeah, so this is a bigger section than the bottom, so it requires more gel and more kind of like, oops, separating the curls a little bit more. So once you do this, you can kind of see how it's like slowly starting to curl. Like this is more defined. But that's essentially the gel is just bringing out your curl pattern. Some people would detangle with a Denman brush here. I prefer not to, just because when I maintain my hairstyle, I just do big twists at night, so my hair's kind of like already in those separate clumps. And for me, once my hair starts curling, trying to brush through this would just cause more frizz, whereas here you can see it's like slowly trying to like get it together. Yeah. I think that's enough gel. For me, when it's kind of like weighed down a little bit like this, where it's kind of like just like hanging on from the weight of it, is usually when I think that's enough. And then I'll just twist. So I'm essentially doing the same 3 sections. I might do the front into 2, but normally this is like the same kind of size and style that I do. And yeah, but you see, just coming off. Let's see. But that's why I prefer to do the stretch out hairstyle, just because I know how bad my hair kind of like gets knotted and fast. So I'd rather just not deal with it. Yeah, so the front didn't get as wet, but it's kind of like, you know, it'll look like that, just like, you know, not as frizzy. Yeah, I think I'll do 2 sections for this one. And yeah, and your sections don't have to be super straight or super defined, because all of this is gonna be just curly and it's gonna be hard to see the front end or the back end or anything. So I think for me, the front of my hair is harder to get a defined curl from it in comparison to the back. You see it's like starting, but it's like not as quickly as the back. Which I don't know if there's a reason for that. If someone has an idea, definitely feel free to comment. And it's always hard to get your edges because they're already kind of straight or like, yeah, so you see it's like slowly working its way up. It's just more poof than anything. And I used to, before, put a lot more gel, thinking it just needs more gel, it's gonna curl up more. But like this is it being way down. So compared to the back, it's not as curly, it just takes longer. So if your hair's similar to mine, don't make the mistake of putting more gel. I just had like white flakes from that experience, so I would not recommend it. Yeah, so if you're twisting and you're seeing kind of like this white sheen, I think I already put too much, but this always happens with the front. But yeah, so what you can do is get a t-shirt and just kind of like pat down the braid if you think you have too much product, which for me worked to like get things off. Let me see if I have a shirt here. I do not, but you guys get the idea. You just take the shirt, wrap it around the braid, and then squeeze. So you're squeezing the moisture of the products out and then allowing it to get into the t-shirt. So we're just doing the top section. And if you have a section that seems not to be curling up, you might just have to put more water in it because your hair still needs to have something to kind of react to. But it's great, I think it's great way to style it. And if your hair does take a while to dry and you don't use like a blow dryer or something like that to heat it up, then you might as well just do a twist out on an older hairstyle. That'll like delay how long you need to do in between styles or have to have a wash day. I'm just trying to get my ends and the top portion, and yeah. I don't know, the front of my hair just takes a while. So I think the front of my hair is more A4C than the back, if that makes sense. I don't know. Like I know a lot of people say they have like different curl patterns in different parts of their head. I think mine's overall kind of equal. It's just like the front doesn't clump as fast as the others, but there you go. And that's done for just this side, and it only took about like 7 minutes. So we're just gonna go through this portion. So all I do is kind of like down the middle-ish. I do more in the back just because it's easier to deal with it that way. So just so you guys can see. Then clip this away, and cutting this in half in the back. Ew. So because it got wet from the shower, it's already kind of curling, which is why like if you hear it snagging, it's just like they're already trying to curl, and I wasn't ready, so. Yeah, I'm not very gentle in doing this, but it doesn't hurt. It's just like I like to go quickly through things. And yeah, so as you can see, it's starting to just get knotty. So if you work in bigger sections, especially like this one, I think it's bigger than the other side. You're just gonna have to put more gel in it just to get all of it even. So you can see it's starting to clump together a little bit. And this way too, when you do it this method, it's more gel than water, and water is what takes like a while to kind of like evaporate. So the gel makes it kind of stiff. So with this, I can tell it's like saturated and it's hanging by itself. I don't know if you guys can see. So then I'll go ahead and twist. Cool. And that's the back end. Yeah, I put too much. But if you put too much, like I said, just use the t-shirt trick. I'm gonna have to find one. I might show you guys before. But I'm trying to keep these videos short. Let's see. So same process, water. I just sprayed my phone. Whoops. And if you have knots starting, just try to get them out before you put the gel in. Like that. And here we go. And then just go ahead and hit. And if you ever feel like you started with a section that turns out to be too big, I would just like split it in half and then kind of focus on one, even if you're still wanting to like braid it together. So you focus on this half, which this one seems to be good now, like that. And then you do a little bit more in the back. And you do them together. Twist. And then do the same thing with the front. Oh, y'all heard that, right? That was like a snap, sniggle, pop. And obviously you can do your sections differently than I do. I just end up doing put more hair in the back just to help it clump that way and just have less hair in the front. And yeah, you're just going to get some knots out. And that's going to require scissors. So that's what happens when your hair starts clumping together. Yeah, so for 4C hair, I just recommend keeping your hair in a stretch hairstyle if you can, and the low manipulation. I think that's what's helped me with my growth more than anything. And oh yeah, I just realized I look a little rough today. I don't have makeup on right now. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can tell. So just kind of essentially start clumping around each other. And now it's like a huge mess. So I'm just gonna snip that off. And it looks like this. But for me, I find that letting the hair clump naturally with the gel instead of trying to use the Denman brush with it prevents those knots from happening. So if you see this, it's just naturally just trying to stay together. I'm losing my voice for some reason. And I think we're good. Add a little bit for my edges. And oh my god. sorry, y'all. My Bluetooth speaker was connected to my phone before as I was playing music. And then I was like, oh, I should record the video, because normally I just do my hair and I blast like music, and it just turned off and scared me, but that's what that noise was. So there's that, and then I'm gonna do the front. And then as you're kind of like doing the gel, you can kind of be detangling by just passing your fingers through it. So this is as much hair that I've shed so far from my head. I'm just gonna do this last section, which hopefully, as you can tell, like the way I split it, it's very a small section in front. So there shouldn't be much added to that. And if you're doing this as well too, and your hair is hard to curl, definitely spray more water on your ends than anything to allow it to kind of start from the bottom. Your roots don't have to be perfect, so. I think I put too little of water, I just struggle a little bit. And yeah. And this is just the Eco Styler, specifically the argan oil one. I used to use olive oil, and there was one that just had no oil. It was just like a clear top. It was like a white top and like just a gel. I think my mom had that. So if you struggle with flakes, I think she said for her that Eco Styler gel specifically was more helpful. But yeah, so it's like slowly happening. He's kind of like limp, but like slowly curl up faster. I don't know why, but yeah, like I said, the front of my hair just is a little weird in comparison to the rest. But I think that's enough gel for today. And I'm just gonna twist this. So I personally like to let my hair just air dry a little bit before I do anything with it, just to kind of allow some of that top layer of gel to kind of like soak in and just kind of dry that top layer anyway. And then let's see. So once it's like air dry for a little bit, like right now it's like still very damp, but it's not very wet because we didn't start with like wet hair. So I would grab like this strand, wrap it all the way around and like pin it here, and like this all the way around, pin it here. So if you see Natural 85, I'm kind of obsessed with her. She kind of has the method of how to do that, so you guys can watch that video. So I'll do that after this air dries a little bit, because if they're pressing against each other wrapped around and it's still kind of wet, it'll just help each twist stay wet. But I will be sure to add a photo of the final product as my thumbnail so you guys can see what it is. And if you follow me on Instagram or on Snapchat, which I think my handle is the same for both of them, you'll see what it looks like tomorrow. So, right? And that's all. I'll see you guys later.